remarkable initiative and making it a reality. This initiative is coming at a time when businesses and corporations desperately need, in addition to technical and financial assistance, support in assessing resolution of commercial disputes. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry is the parent body of LASIAC, and as Nigeria's pioneer Chamber of Commerce, which was founded in 1888, we are a leading private sector advocacy group mandate of ensuring investors thrive in an enabling business and regulatory environment. With a membership of about 2,000 businesses to 26 sectors of this economy, we constantly engage the federal, state, and local governments and their ministries and agencies on behalf of our esteemed members and businesses. The current COVID-19 pandemic, besides being a public health crisis, has resulted in very severe social and consequences for businesses across the world. The current border closures, international travel restrictions, lockdown on movement of goods, and the collapse of industries and commercial activities was certainly not within the contemplation of most business entities and financial market players. This has led to a sizable number of domestic and international contractual obligations being frustrated. Big businesses, in fact, are also facing bankruptcy and possible closure. My Lord, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, have suffered severe consequential disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic and its associated containment measures. The emergence of CADRI is timely, given the resultant issues around breaches of contractual obligations arising from various disruptions occasioned by this pandemic. The LCCI is a leading proponent of alternative dispute resolution as a quick and effective means of resolving commercial disputes as against litigation which takes more time than businesses can afford. My Lord, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to seize this opportunity to congratulate the co-visioners and the LASIAC team for this exceptional dispute resolution platform, CADRI. I appreciate the presence of our eminent guests, and I thank you all for honoring us with your presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mabogunje, the President, Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Now the question, since we started the campaign, will be, why CADRI? What is CADRI about? What led to CADRI? And who better to tell us that than one of the visionaries, Mrs. Fumi Roberts? So I'll be inviting her upstage down as she tells us about CADRI. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tolu. My Lord, Honorable Justice M.L. Abimbola, the Chief Judge of Oyo State, and someone I always refer to as one of the most ardent champions of ADR in Nigeria. Our host, the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Oyo State, my friend and classmate, Professor Oyelowo Oyewo, who graciously made this venue available for us. Honorable Justice Eni Eson, the immediate past president of the Customary Court of Appeal. Thank you for coming. Chief Bayojo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the former Attorney General and Minister for Justice of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Tokima Bogunje, President of LCCI. Mr. Tunde Fagbounlu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CADRI Co-Visioner and Chairman of LASIAC, Lagos. Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the Chairman of the Ibadan Chapter of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, people who know me will tell you that I don't like writing my speeches. I like to speak extempore. But I was warned that I was too passionate about CADRI not to write what I want to say down, because I can take 1 hour talking about it. So that is why I'm going to read a written speech And my sons will be disappointed because they have been waiting for me to make some gaffes when speaking. So today, Adedokun Tolulokpe and Adeyemi, I am reading, so there will be no errors. It will be presumptuous to assume that the effect of the measures taken by governments worldwide to deal with COVID-19 is news. It would in fact be contemptuous for me to assert that there is anyone who has not been personally, economically, and/or financially adversely affected by measures taken to minimize its effect. It would be a misrepresentation if I say that COVID-19 has not put unprecedented pressures and stress on businesses, their owners, and other stakeholders. What would also not be a fallacy is that COVID-19 has caught us totally unprepared. It has left us not only sequestered indoors, but also scrambling to metabolize its effect. COVID-19 is a source of unprecedented, unanticipated challenges with very little resources to deal with it. The distressing aspect of this is that we do not know when it will end. The WHO has hinted that COVID-19 may become endemic, thereby living with us forever. And for once, I hope Donald Trump's prediction that COVID-19 will disappear just as suddenly as it emerged will turn out correct. In the meantime, whether COVID-19 fizzles out or not, it is evident that never have we had to manage a crisis of such unprecedented magnitude since the Second World War. Just as in any war, there are many battles we need to fight to win this current war. It is a war that needs to be fought on several battlefields. And just as always, we must commend and celebrate the health workers who have taken the lead on the health sector battlefront, staking their lives to save ours. We must be intentional about our collective resolve to win this war. We must accept the fact that everyone, including stakeholders within the civil justice system, have a role to play. For some time now, some lawyers, including Mr. Tunde Fagbohunlu, SCN, one of the visionaries of the scheme we are here to present to the public, had been advocating for a radical overhaul of our civil justice system so that it can more effectively play its pivotal role in ensuring effective access to justice. They have begged, they have lobbied, they have cajoled, they have spoken, and while some listened, many ignored. But what has COVID-19 done? It has changed the narrative. We now have no choice but to listen to them because this pandemic is an accelerant. It has brought to our consciousness the paucity that lies within our civil justice system in a manner we could not have imagined a few months ago. It is a wake-up call, and to answer that call, we must be intentional and deliberate. One of the things we swore to when we were called solicitors and advocates is to do our best for our clients. At all times, our work, our decisions, our advice must all be in the interests of our clients. This is the social contract we as lawyers entered into with our clients. The need to adhere to the terms of this client-lawyer obligation has never been more important than now. One of the significant outcomes of measures taken to minimize the rate of infection of the pandemic will force many individuals and businesses to invoke contractual clauses and penalties against counterparties. This will be accepted by some, but resisted by others, thereby leading to disputes between parties who, but for COVID-19, were happy with their business relationships. Lawyers will then be consulted. Our advice will be sought. The question then is, in this climb, in the current state of our under-resourced courts, with the lack of infrastructure to enable activation of the avoidance and minimization measures put in place by governments, should we, who have sworn to do the best for our clients, subject them to the vagaries of our anachronistic public civil justice system? I think not. Our courts are burgeoning with almost 200,000 pre-COVID-19 cases yet unresolved. They are severely under-resourced, with court registries populated by staff, some of whom cannot switch on a computer, a tool necessary for post-COVID-19 survival. Our judges still take notes in longhand. Many courtrooms cannot enforce the physical distancing required to minimize the spread of COVID-19, thereby exposing our overworked judges to the risk of infection. Lawyers in the vulnerable age bracket, and many of the best are amongst them, find it unsafe to attend court sessions because they are afraid for their lives. Then I ask again, is litigation the only recourse we as lawyers should offer to our clients? Is it in the best interest of our clients to take them through the whole gamut of litigation, even when we amongst ourselves are not sure about the constitutionality or otherwise of holding virtual hearings in our courtrooms? Can the spirited efforts to bridge the infrastructure deficits in our courtrooms be achieved overnight amid competing priorities? Again, I think not. Let me quickly add that this is not a Nigerian narrative. It is African, in depth and in scope. However, today we are here to present an alternative platform we have christened COVID-19 Alternative Dispute Resolution Initiative, otherwise known as CADRI. This initiative is a child birthed by necessity, the necessity to provide trusted and credible alternatives to litigation. But CADRI is not an outlier. It is not a beatitude of dispute resolution. Neither is CADRI a service provider. It is a platform for collaboration amongst institutions and organizations that offer alternatives to litigation, mainly negotiation, mediation, arbitration, and adjudication. And none of these alternatives are new. They are all tried and tested. Perhaps some amongst us have not wisened to the fact that no matter the low COVID-19 infection figures we read about in Africa, this does not translate into the
SAN. He is the chairman of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and International Arbitration Center.
CADRI, the COVID-19 pandemic, as we all know, has had significantly deleterious effects on the world economy. So that's one factor that has inspired the idea of CADRI. The second factor, of course, is that many courts across Nigeria, across Africa, across the rest of the world, are going to be seeing a reduction in their activity because of the need to observe social distancing, because of the need to observe rules of safety. So there's going to be a significant reduction in the capacity of the courts to deal with what was already a full ingested cost list. Now, these are the two ideas that have inspired. And so what CADRI is all about is about catering to these two problems among the many others that have arisen from the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, CADRI, I've heard Mrs. Roberts say, is not an institution. It is an idea, it is a service. And I'm pretty confident that across the world, lots of CADRIs will emerge, not necessarily under the name of CADRI, but they will emerge as concepts that are directed at achieving an item that I have just mentioned, namely filling up the gap that's going to be left in the fact that the capacity of the courts have significantly reduced, and also attending to the needs of businesses to watch the costs of resolving disputes. Now, because it's just an idea, a service, it's not an institution, it's going to be administered through existing institutions. So, in Africa, we are already reaching out to institutions in Nigeria, as well as in other African countries that we'll attend to. And we expect that institutions that will administer will have guidelines that will clearly spell out this scope. Then, of course, the institutions will have the capacity to administer CADRI. They would have efficient managers, and they would have efficient staff in their secretariat.
To support CADRI. This is a pledge to help to populate CADRI worldwide. And I respectfully invite the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to join us up here. Chief Bayojo, can you please join us as well? Mrs. Akeredolu, can you please join us? Mr. Tunde Fagbonlu, please join us. The chairman of the NBA Ibadan branch should kindly join us, Dr. Wale Akitayo, one of the driving force of CADRI. Please join us up here. Mrs. Gade, can you please join us?
Director of ADR Center.
The director of the
Courthouse.
Oyo State Multi-Door Courthouse.
Sorry.
Mrs. Are, the director of the
Mediation Center.
Can you please join us? Can you, so that you don't block, yes, thank you very much. Now, as we stand before you, we are going to ask the Honorable Chief Judge of Oyo State to command us, without a gavel, to take the pledge in the front of the whole world. My Lord, sir.
Thank you. Where is Mrs. No. Where is where do I click?
Click. That's it.
Click.
Yes, sir.
Maintain some physical distance.
Thank
So
you.
that we comply.
Because the problem will be he said I should make a command that we
I think it requires what do you call that?
Injury, cause of him. I became the phone.
It's verifying you. Just a minute. I'm trying to confirm that he's not a robot.
Later we'll do it. What do I say? Okay. Yes, in the name of Almighty God and to the glory of God, for our use and for the use of mankind, can I please invite you all to click and thereby launch this COVID version.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So it's done.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm a lotion. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Lord. Can we please give him a round of applause and all those who have at this ceremony taken the CADRI pledge. Thank you very much, sir. One of the foremost ADR specialists worldwide is called the Center for Effective Dispute Resolution, based in the United Kingdom. They have trained some of the best mediators in this world. They have come to Nigeria to train our judges. They have come to Nigeria to train our lawyers. They have come to Nigeria and other parts of the world to train seasoned mediators. In fact, if on your resume you have CEDA accredited mediator, you are accepted anywhere in the world to mediate any dispute. And they are here today to wish us well. The Managing Director of CEDA, Mr. James South, has graciously sent us this message to share with all of you at this event. Thank you very much. Can we have James South,
Hello,
please?
my name is James South, and I'm the mediator and the managing director of the Centre for Effective Dispute Resolution, CEDA, based in London. First of all, I'd like to say a warm hello to all my friends and colleagues in Nigeria. I have very fond memories of my time training mediators in Nigeria. In fact, it was one of my first training assignments as Director of Training for CEDA. I was working with colleagues and now many friends in Nigeria as mediators. One of the reasons I think I became a mediator, and I'm sure most mediators that I know of became mediators, is because they believe that mediation offers a constructive way for people to resolve their conflicts and disputes and avoid the very negative impacts that disputes often have in terms of cost, time, and other personal or business implications and costs. And even more so, this is more prevalent and important in the situation that the world finds itself in relation to the COVID pandemic. We are seeing our communities and our societies in moments of stress and crisis. And this crisis is going to continue after the health emergency is concluded or is diminished, with the financial and economic impact of the COVID pandemic really coming to become very obvious in all communities. We're going to see an avalanche of disputes, particularly for small businesses, with the negative impacts that implies in terms of, quite frankly, business survival. It's for this reason that mediators and mediation organizations around the world have seen an opportunity for us as conflict resolvers and dispute resolution professionals to offer a service to assist members of our community and our society to resolve disputes in an effective way without having resource to litigation or other court-based means. For this reason, I commend the COVID-19 ADR initiative in Nigeria for its proactive ability to formulate an offering. I'm particularly impressed by the pledge, which I think is a great idea, to get business involved and to commit to using these services. And I'm sure with the group of ADR professionals involved in this initiative, that it will really provide great support for businesses and individuals and companies who are struggling with the interruption to their business that this COVID pandemic will produce. I individually, as a mediator, and CEDA as an ADR organization, stand shoulder to shoulder with the COVID ADR initiative in Nigeria, and you have our full support. And of course, if there's anything we can do to support the initiative, you know that we will be there as friends and colleagues. I wish you well for your launch, which is on June the 4th, which may be today when you listen to this, and for your future. And please stay strong and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, the next item on the program is the stakeholders' perspective. We all know that the business of dispute resolution, we have the dispute resolution service providers, that is ADR specialists, we have the disputants, and the people that represent them. So we'll be inviting Mrs. Abimbola Akeredolu, SAN, to speak as one of the stakeholders of the initiative.
Thank you very much. Please permit me to rest on existing protocol as so elaborately established by previous speakers. I want to thank the midwives of this initiative. This is Fumi Roberts and Mr. Tunde Fabu, SAN, for this wonderful. Thank them and congratulate them on the launching of this wonderful initiative. If an assessment were to be made of the practice of litigation in Nigeria, and I imagine many parts of Africa today, I doubt that scoring would be commendable. Users of the system are less than happy as lawyers and as disputants. It was pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, the system was less than satisfactory. We litigators just kept hope alive, hoping that the next one would be better. We thrived on one success and you get so much mileage and joy out of it, looking out for the next success, which was not really a sustainable model. Enter COVID, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of the lawyers I work with, but about to personal lives went through a bit of professional depression. System that wasn't functioning so well before, now a spanner, a major spanner in the works, this invisible enemy that has sent everybody home. This virus lives on paper. Our work, our relationship with court is largely paper-based. So it's not just spanner in the works, enough cause this of depression. And then when we started to reflect that what would life look like post-COVID, it wasn't, the prognosis was not inspiring at all. Most welcome, and we embrace it. Despite the social distancing, we have it all in our hearts. And if it were a person, despite COVID, we would be too happy to give it a huge warm hug. So, from the stakeholders' perspective, it is happy to note that it is not targeted at Nigerian businesses alone or users, it's also targeted at African users. Perhaps this would be an initiative that will unite Africa and break down the barriers that exist. Nigeria is surrounded by Francophone countries, and Ghana is 2 Francophone countries away. But with an initiative like this, the language barriers will be overcome. I believe that justice does not have a language, even though users or the practitioners thereof may speak a language. So I will not continue to go on about this, but to commend the CADRI and pray that we all also join hands as users to further midwife this wonderful initiative and recommend it, embrace it, sing it from the rooftops, till all of Africa is united on this platform. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you very much, Leonard Silk.
Hello?
We can hear you, Ma.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. We'll be inviting the chairman, Nigerian Bar Association Ibadan branch, Dr. Wole Akintayo, for his comments on the stakeholders' perspective. You're welcome, sir.
My Lord, the Chief Judge of Oyo State, our Chief Host, the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, my lords here, the visionary of this program, Mrs. Fumi Robert and Mr. Tunde Fagbolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I must also recognize the former President of the Nigerian Bar Association, who is also a former Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Bayo Ojo, SAN. On behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association Ibadan branch, I want to express our delight with this initiative. In the remarks of my Lord, the Honorable Chief Judge, I can say that my Lord has made my work easier. Sociologists have highlighted two models of society. There is a consensus model and there is a conflict model. Of course, the conflict model resonates more. Why is it so? It's because we are two or more are gathered. They will interact, and also conflict cannot be eliminated. We cannot wish away conflict. Rather, we must address conflict. We'll discover that it has been the responsibility of government in all stages of human history to provide a scheme for resolution of conflict. That's why we have the courts. But this initiative today is urging all of us to look beyond the court. It's not as if we want to take jobs off our noble laws, but we want to relieve them of the burden they have carried for so long a time. And I'm sure my laws are delighted with this engagement. And now, one thing about Africa is that the nature of African judicial system pays a lot of attention to dissolving conflict rather than resolving conflict. Of course, there's a saying that you don't return from the court and remain friends. And with respect to ADR and ADR mechanism, the win-win situation is what we have. We come back from the court and we remain friends. I want to say on behalf of my colleagues, legal practitioners, that we see ourselves as officers of the law. We see ourselves as ministers in the temple of justice. And on that account, we are happy with this initiative. Because there's no way the initiative is going to adversely affect us. We'll still collect our fees from our clients, and everybody will be happy. We'll do our work as quickly as possible, and we'll move on to other things. I'm part of the initiative, but I also want to commend our leader in this initiative, Mrs. Fumi Robert, who some many years ago was my lecturer. I'm very delighted to say it everywhere. But I think we also need the intervention of the state government and also governments from all parts of the world, and especially in Africa. Because a private initiative like this may run into some problem if we don't have some kind of legal backing. So I'm happy that our directors from the Ministry of Justice in Oyo State, they are here. I think we also need to give the push some legal cloak so that the initiative can better serve the community. So we are, on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association, very happy about this initiative. Many great things in the legal profession and also in life in Nigeria began from Oyo State, the pace-setter state. So we are happy that the gospel of this new initiative CADRI is being sounded from this place to the whole of Nigeria, to the whole of Africa, and to the whole of the world. Thank you very much. Before I leave, with the kind permission of my Lord, the Nigerian Bar Association Ibadan branch celebrated its 65th anniversary in 2019. This year we are 65 plus 1. So we want to appreciate some critical stakeholders who contributed to the success of that program. Permit me to invite my Lord, Honorable Justice M.L. Abimbola, to come forward for the humble presentation to be made by the Nigerian Bar Association. Ms. Robert will assist in making the presentation.
On behalf of members of the Nigerian Bar Association, Ibadan branch, I hereby present this to you, Honorable Justice M.L. Laguju. Sorry. M.L. Abimbola, the Chief Judge of Oyo State. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I thank the chairman. I sincerely and from the depths of my heart, I say thank you from the chairman, NBA Ibadan branch, to all members of this legal profession. Your high will be your flying practice. As you have said, Ibadan, the capital of the political West in those days, is a pace setter. And it is the practice of the lawyers there that has actually assisted the judges to write those notable and landmark judgments which we are known for. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you, my Lord, Honorable Justice M.L. Abimbola. May I also respectfully invite my Lord, the immediate past President of the Customary Court of Appeal, to step forward, and I will kindly request the Honorable Attorney General to assist to make this presentation.
Lord, on behalf of the Ibadan branch of the MBA, present this. I think it's a token of appreciation for your contributions on several occasions that have been called in the line of duty and even beyond the call of duty. We appreciate you. I will continue to wish you well in your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Nigerian Bar Association Ibadan branch, for this award or honor you've done me. I pray that NBA Ibadan branch will work stronger and stronger. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akitayo. We are gradually getting to the end of the program, and the next item on the program is the questions and answers. And this will be taken by Mrs. Fumi Iyaye. Mrs. Fumi Iyaye is the Managing Director of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and International Arbitration Center. Over to you, Mrs. Fumi.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. We have just one unanswered question, which I believe we should direct to Mr. Tunde Fagomuri, SAN. All the other questions have actually been answered in the portal. Mr. Fagomuri, the question states, will CADRI apply intervention measures where it believes it is needed, or will CADRI just wait for cases to be sent in?
right. Thank you very much. So I'm not quite sure what is meant by intervention measures, but the one thing and I've said it earlier in my speech, is that the institutions administering CADRI will be required to sensitize the community, the users community, to what CADRI is all about, the benefits that it offers. As institutions offering EDR services, the institutions typically wait for people to approach them, but they also make sure that they create awareness of the services that they offer. Through different sources, chambers of commerce, guilds, associations, we will be spreading the message of CADRI through different platforms, employers associations, business associations. We will be spreading that message of CADRI so that everybody is aware that CADRI is here and what it does. And that's the kind of intervention that I envisage at this point in time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fagbemi. Thank you very much, sir. That's it for the question and answer. But I have just want to put this out there that anyone who has questions or wants to make inquiries regarding CADRI, please visit our website. The question has just come up. Mrs. Roberts, please, I'll direct this question to you. It says, is there a way we can see a practical demonstration of how CADRI works? Is there a way we can see a practical demonstration of how CADRI works?
Thank you.
Mrs. Roberts?
Yes, I'm here, and I'll take the question. Thank you very much for that question. When I was given my presentation, I had said that CADRI is a platform, and it is a platform for existing ADR service providers like LASIAC, ICAMA, as well as Oyo State Multi-Door Courthouse that we have now. They have guidelines that support their operations. Any institution that joins the CADRI platform or that is invited to the CADRI platform would necessarily follow these guidelines. And some of them are on the website. If you go to the website, you will find this on the website. And even as I speak to you, we have been approached by some institutions in other African countries to partner with us on rolling out CADRI on the continent. So if you go to ICAMA, if you go to LASIAC, whatever needs to be done will be explained to you. It is not too much a far cry from what they do right now. It is just that we are making it more user-friendly and more affordable to everybody. I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much.
That brings us to the Q&A session. Thank you, everyone.
Mrs. Iyai, can you please also take the vote of thanks?
Yes, so we will now, thank you, everybody. This, the Q&A is the last program on the agenda, and we'll go straight to the last activity, which is the vote of thanks, and that will be given by me. On behalf of give help. I'd like my ward, Emma University, Professor Oyewo, the Attorney General of Oyo State, distinguished Chief Ojo SAN, former Federation and the founder of JEF, the President of Commerce and Industry, Mrs.
former Attorney General of Ogun State. She's also from Obawa and Igudalo and sits on the LASIAC board. And to all you all, ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed guests who have joined us here today, online and in person at the Oyo State Immigration Center. Thank you everyone for taking out time to join us today at this institution. For those of us who have taken the pledge today, seek to assist African businesses and stimulate the economy despite the adverse effects of the pandemic. Thank you everybody. We are grateful for your time and we wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Iyayi. My noble Lord, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the launch event of the CADRI. I'll be asking us to please rise once again for the national anthem. Thank you very much, everybody.